All right, students, let's get started on this next unit's guided notes. We are going to be talking about the levels of organization within a multicellular organism. So let's check it out. So, for every multicellular organism, there are 5 levels of biological organization. Okay, and we're going to start with the most basic, which would be a cell, and we're going to make our way up to the most complex, which is the entire organism. Okay, so the first level of organization is called a cell. And if you have many cells working together, you get a tissue. So the second level is a tissue. A bunch of tissues working together could create an organ. A bunch of organs working together creates an organ system. And then all these organ systems working together will create what we call an organism. Okay, so very simple in a cell, up to very, very complex. For you, the organism. So let's break these down individually. So starting with level 1, we have our cell. We're not going to spend too much time on it because we have already investigated this a lot. Okay, so if we remember, we had plant cells, we had animal cells. Those are our very complex cells, while bacteria is very simple. They are usually single-cell organisms. Okay? And if we recall from last unit, all cells are made up of tiny structures called organelles. So an organelle is a structure within the cell that has a specific role. If we remember, there's the nucleus, we have a mitochondria, the cell wall, cell membrane, so on and so forth. Okay, so cells are our first level of organization. The second level is what we call a tissue. And the definition of a tissue is a group of similar types of cells that work together to carry out specific tasks. So if you take a bunch of cells and they work together, we create a tissue. So epithelial tissue, this could be a bunch of skin cells working together. Muscle tissue, a bunch of muscle cells working together. Nervous tissue, a bunch of nerve cells working together. Okay, truly kind of cool. So tissues are a group of similar cells working together. Our third level of organization is an organ. Now, by definition, an organ is a group of different tissues working together to perform a particular job. So if we look here inside of our stomach, here we probably have connective tissue, we probably have muscle tissue, and we probably also have nervous tissue. All these tissues working together form an organ. Okay, same thing with our small intestine. A bunch of muscle tissue, probably a bunch of connective tissue and epithelial tissue as well, right? So multiple tissues working together creates an organ. The fourth level of organization is what we call an organ system. Okay, and an organ system is a group of organs that work together to perform a specific task. So we have a bunch of different systems inside of our body. There will be 9 of them, and we will explore them throughout this unit. But let's just look at, for a quick example, our respiratory system. Okay, our respiratory system is an organ system, and it's made up of a bunch of organs, such as your lungs, your esophagus, your larynx, your pharynx, your mouth. Okay, all those organs work together to create a system, in this case, the respiratory system. Another example could be your circulatory system. This is what pumps blood throughout your body. Your circulatory system, the organs would be hearts and arteries and veins, and those organs would work together to make the circulatory system. Okay, so systems, group of organs working together. And then the fifth and final lesson or level, is an organism. So the fifth level is an organism. And the definition here is something that has all the characteristics of life and all organ systems working together for those life functions. So you put together all these systems, okay, you can create an organism. Okay? Keep in mind, humans and plants are different. Plants just have different cells. So plants have different tissues, meaning they have different organs and organ systems. But again, plants are still organisms. They're multicellular. They just have different cells and tissues to create different organ systems. It's really kind of cool. One last time, again, to review, biology has 5 levels of organization. The most simple level is our cells, followed by tissues, then organs, organ systems, and then finally the organism. So one last time here, all living things are made up of cells at the smallest levels, and those cells come together to make specialized tissues. Tissues combine to make organs, which combine with other organs that make organ systems. And those systems combine to make an organism. Thank you for listening to my notes. Have a good day. Bye.